Hello everyone, and welcome to GT3 Series Round 4 at the Hockenheim. We're right now into qualifying. It's 6:55 minutes to go. And now drivers are mostly on their outlaps and flyers, trying to warm up their tires and their brakes before they start their flyers. Victor back a little bit wide. And Kai Kogashiwa, Teo Cross, and Timon by. As more drivers are exiting the pit lane. As we head to the flyers right now, Kai Kogashiwa with a 151 on his outlap. Much as they come to turn 2. Very slower corner than you would imagine. Gotta get a good launch going to the longest straight on the circuit. Usually with Formula cars, open wheel cars, DRS would be available here. These are GT3s. Ooh, tail went a little bit off on the grass. That's gonna take a couple of hundreds or maybe tenths off of him. Into the hairpin. Gotta brake really early because it's easy heating up the tires and locking up heating up the brakes and locking up the tires. And going straight on, as we see in the back, Victor back going a little wide. Nothing real penalty is doing anything about it, but we'll have to see. As they're still flying, Kai Kogashiwa ahead of all the flyers will be the first one to set a lap and probably a benchmark. He's been known to be very fast in the series, but rather inconsistent. So we're gonna have to watch very carefully as he sets a purple sector 2, Timon with a purple sector 1. Into the final two corners. The final corner, blasted on the gas pedal across the line, and it's going to be a 1 minute 41.002, almost a 41 flat. That's the benchmark as of right now. Tail Cross with a few of his mistakes, going second with a 143. Lucas Alex going second with a 141.8. A lot of people putting in a lot of times. Victor Becke almost stops on track as he scores the third highest time, 2.2 seconds off of provisional pole right now with just under 4 minutes to go. You see Lucas Alex 8 tenths to make up on this lap. On to the longest straight. Lucas Alex going yellow on this section of the track. 25.845. We see everyone behind him in the standings. Green everywhere. Victor Becke on a green lap. Oh, Lucas Alex stops on track, goes back to the pits. See if Victor Becke stopping once again after coming out the pit. We see his teammate Dewey right now going into the first slow corner on the circuit, onto the main straight, following Mercedes, and the Mercedes goes off right to give him some space, very much onto the grass. But behind him, Dewey is going green first sector. But right now, up in front, we see sector 2 was purple for Kai, and it's hasn't beat, still in the 41st second, but just a few hundreds off. Timon goes provisional pole with a 40.520. A phenomenal lap from the McLaren driver. In front of him is Tail Cross, who is going to try and put in a proper lap, trying not to make too many mistakes this time. Daniel Burka moving up into 5th with a 142.658. Thomas Seffert right now in the Mercedes AMG for East Block Racing has now put in a purple sector 1, yellow sector 2, coming into the final sector of the circuit on his lap. 2 minutes to go on the clock. Into that corner, very infamous corner where in 2018 Sebastian Vettel went onto the gravel and retired from the race after making a mistake in damp conditions in Formula 1. Coming to the final corner, Sifford flat on the gas now. Here he comes across the line. Is it going to be enough to put himself forward? He moves up one position with a 41.466. Behind him, Kai Kogashiwa with a purple sector 2 into the final sector of the circuit. He is in contention for that pole position. Cutting a little bit of the course. I don't think Real Penalty is going to do too much about it. Across the line, it's going to be... oh, not fast enough. He's got one more chance if he keeps this flyer going. Everyone on top. Lucas Alex on medium for some reason during a qualifying session. Everyone's got their own strategy. Maybe he feels more comfortable on those tires. As we look right now, Lucas Alex went green in the first sector, coming to the hairpin, the slowest corner on the circuit. Got a brake. You see the smoke coming out of the brake rotors. That means the brakes really heating up in that section. It's got a temp management is going to be a big point of note for this race. Into the second sector, still keeping it clean on the curbs. Not making too many mistakes on those mediums. Seems like it's paying off. Going green again. It's going to be an improvement right now. He is about 7/10 up on his lap. Taking a late apex, maybe not going all the way to the inside because probably going to scrub too much speed into the penultimate corners. Here we go on board with Lucas Alex across the line. What is it going to be? A little bit of a snap of oversteer, but he corrects it. Is it going to be enough? Oh, and he stays in 6th. Timon retires to the grass on provisional pole. Still Kai Kogashiwa still stays 2nd. Dewey behind him, still on a lap. It's yellow sector 1. I hope he's going to be doing better. He's in contention for pole position as he stands in 3rd. Still nothing. Victor Beckett moves to 5th position, stays in 5th. 1 second off the pole lap. Oh, a little wide by Dewey. That's going to be costly when he goes onto the grass. Yellow sector 2. I don't think this lap's going to be any good unless he pulls off an inhumane performance in sector 3. Here he comes to the braking zone in the final sector. That 180 into the faster chicane on the circuit penultimate corner. Is it going to be I don't think it's going to be enough to improve his position as he dives into the pits. Slams into the wall going into the pits, but it's going to be it for qualifying. Look on right now. Timon, Stefan Schack, a 1:45.20 on pole position. I don't know if that's going to be a race pace material, but he certainly's got an edge over the rest of the grid as he puts himself just under half a second over Kai Kogashiwa, who is in 2nd place. see nowhere in sight. Eastbourne stop unless the tower is not showing enough. So now we see one of the star drivers on the grid right now, currently missing from the grid, Eastbourne Stopa, who has been phenomenal in GT cars as well as Formula cars, but has been the champion of all but one GT3 seasons. That's gotta be a little more relieving to the other drivers, seeing as the pressure is not as big on his shoulder. Apparently we've been given notice that he's going to be late, but he is going to be present, ladies and gentlemen. Look onto the starting with 1 minute to go. Your starting order. Now in pole position, Timon Stefan Schack in the McLaren 650S GT3. In second place, we've got Kai Kogashiwa in his Ferrari 488. In third, we've got Dewey in his BMW Z4 number 35. In P4, we've got Thomas Seffert in his number 25 Mercedes GT3 AMG. In fifth, we've got Victor Becke, Dewey's teammate in number 50 BMW. In sixth, we've got Lucas Alex in his Z4 BMW. In seventh, we got Daniel Burka in number 23 Mercedes. In eighth, we've got Till Cross in his BMW. Adam in ninth, Jeff in 10th, and Stefan Vesely in 11th. As the lights go on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The lights are off, the green flag is shown, and the race is a go. A great start from Kai Kogashiwa. He is equal. The team on Stefan Schack going to the final corner. It's too wide. Oh, and we see Thomas overshoots the corner, loses control, but he keeps it on the track. It's still side by side at the front for the lead. Going to turn 2 and turn 3. Ferrari's got the inside. The McLaren's got the outside. Dewey's going to try to take advantage of the exit speed as those two are fighting. The Ferrari takes the lead going onto the main straight. The McLaren sifts into the slipstream. He's going to try and make a move. He's going to be looking, going into a hairpin. The slipstream giving a higher advantage on the top end. Behind them, 2 Z4s fighting for the lead. Down the inside, McLaren goes, oh, and there's a wreck. The Ferrari and the BMW of Dewey and Kai collide, but they're still going. No caution at this time. No yellow flag just for the section. No safety car. Timon Stefan Schack retains the lead. Lucas Alex moves into second. Thomas in third. Behind him, Dewey with a lot of nose damage. We can see in fourth. That's probably going to be a penalty investigated by the stewards later after. Behind him, the back sifts. Gets calmer. Kai Kogashiwa got wide. A little bit of a mistake down there. Down into 9th. Stefan Vesely in the number 31 AMG. Kai looks to be slow. What is going on? I think he's letting them by. He's going to be going back to the pits with this damage. Let us remind you that it's a full reverse grid double race. However, points position is going to be very crucial. Behind him, Thomas Seffert in chase from Dewey. Oh, he cuts the course a lot. That's going to be a warning, probably from the stewards. We see just not too far behind Lucas Alex on the mediums, chasing Timon Steffenschak. In his Pierogi Racing McLaren, he is gapping the BMW behind. Victor Beckett, meanwhile, in 6th on the mediums, chasing Till Cross on the softs. In battle for 5th, he's going to be looking to the inside. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? He keeps his position. He's going to try and get the later apex. Oh, and he gets blocked by Tail. That's not what he was expecting. He's going to have to try again. Meanwhile, at the front, Thomas just under 3/10 behind Lucas Alex. Lucas Alex goes a bit wide. Thomas is going to take advantage of that. They're side by side. Oh, a little bit of contact. He goes wide. He goes back to 3rd place. Dewey wide again, but he wasn't involved at all in that. Thomas still on the back bumper of Lucas Alex. There's a bump, and they're wrecking. They're both wrecking. That will bring out the full course yellow, which is a virtual safety car. While the drivers get settled, they need to limit their speed at 80 kilometers an hour. They have a delta that will be shown if they are under in the green or over on the red, which means that if they are in the red, they're going to have to slow down to be in the green unless it's going to be a penalty. As you guys can see, I am acting race director and commentator for today. Double duty is fun. With this virtual safety car, Lucas Alex dives into the pits. Oh, you're gonna try and repair this rear side damage. Lucas Alex gets a 10-second penalty for full course yellow delta as he goes into the pits. Full course yellow. We're gonna be ending in 6 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Going back green. As they have now cooled down, and now we're back racing. The green is shown. The gaps have extended, but in the back right now, we may have a 4-way fight. We've got Kai Kogashiwa in the number 5 Ferrari being chased by the Mercedes of Adam Brettschneider. Meanwhile, Kai Kogashiwa is trying to chase Stefan Vesely in his East Block Racing Mercedes. Kai in a Mercedes East Block Racing sandwich right now. He's still got to make some time, get himself in a good position if he wants to be able to compete for the event win in race 2. As he looks to the inside, oh, and the Mercedes goes a little bit wide. Kai also overshot just a little bit considering he was getting close to Mercedes. And at the front, there's a fight for the lead. Oh, and Dewey is off onto the gravel. Probably with some contact with Timon Steffenschak, because we saw them fight on the leaderboard. And now Dewey is down in 6th. Almost blocking the fight that was behind him. He's going to be involved in that now. Kai Kogashiwa trying to fight the BMW who was involved in contact on lap 1 with him at the beginning of the race. Look at the front, we see Thomas very close behind Victor Beckett fighting for 3rd place. Into turn 2 and 3 they go. Who's going to get the Mercedes? We know she's got a lot of torque, but he goes onto the grass. Thomas onto the grass. He keeps it. Oh, and into the barrier. Thomas goes. A lot of damage to the front end. That's not a good race for the Mercedes driver. Behind him, Daniel in his East Block Racing 23 passes Thomas for 4th place. Victor Beckett still retains 3rd place as Thomas makes a mistake. Stefan Vesely in another East Block Racing Mercedes. Number 31 getting chased by Dewey. Oh, and Daniel Burka goes a bit wide as he tries to chase Thomas Seffert, and he's unsuccessful. Stefan Vesely, meanwhile, behind him, is going to try and make a move on him. He's looking down the inside, Dewey. He's looking, oh, and there's contact. There is contact between two cars. The safety car is being deployed, which means I need to go in my camera. This is our beautiful safety car, ladies and gentlemen. As a leader goes past, the pit lane before I could deploy the safety car onto the track. We're going to be waiting for him as he goes back. They go back around. The field is currently neutralized for the safety car period. Means it's gonna open a lot of doors for pit stops as we head to this. Oh, and Timon, he goes out, tries to warn the tires too much. Hill gives him the space to gain back control. This is gonna open a lot of doors for pit stops and soft tires as we head to the second half of this race, without losing too much, losing track position, but not too much distance to the cars in front. As we are going to send a message for lapped cars to overtake. We've got, as of right now, the order behind the safety car. Timon Stefanshock in his McLaren in first. Theo Cross in his BMW in second. Victor Becke in third in his BMW. Thomas, Daniel, Adam, and Stefan Vesely, all for East Block Racing in their Mercedes AMG GT3s. We're going to be slowing down to wait for the two lapped cars, going at a safer pace. The driver is leaving space behind them, between each of them. See in the rearview mirror right now behind them. All warming up their tires, following at a safe pace. So right now, with this safety car being deployed, the game has completely changed. The soft tire runners will not get as big of a disadvantage in terms of tire wear because of this neutralization of the race, which means they can this will stall out the wear of their tires a little bit under safety car. Meaning, Timon may be under threat from tail cross. Also because the soft tires heat up faster than the mediums and the hards. Behind, we see contact. There's Daniel Burka, who's been spun round under safety car. At contact between Daniel and Adam Retschneider, I believe. If all cars get back behind the safety car before we end sector 3, we will be restarting the race. Otherwise, we will have to go for another lap, and we might have about 4 minutes to go. Kai Kogashiwa sets the fastest lap, a 1:41.268. We're gonna have to go another lap in order to wait for one more car. The safety car has been brought back in this lap. Drive off into the distance. The safety car dives into the pits, and the leader may restart when he wishes. Look behind them. Timon Stefanschak waiting until the last minute before he restarts. Out the final corner, they're all stacking up behind him. He is restarting as he crosses the line. It's going to be green flag back in the air behind them. All close to get a Victor Becke. Still on the mediums, trying to warm them up while defending for his third place. Chasing tail cross on his soft tires. Behind them, Dewey tries and look around the outside of Stephen Vesely. He tries and get the switchback for the exit speed. Meanwhile, Stephen Vesely, with the torque of the AMG, gets a good run going onto the main straight. As Victor Becke defends aggressively to the inside, almost pins him to the grass. Who's going to be aggressive on the brakes? Stephen Vesely. They're both equal. Victor Becke might get the exit speed as they go onto the third straight into turn 7. They're still side by side. Victor loses the place, but Stephen Vesely goes wide a little bit. That might be... Oh, and there's contact in the back. Thomas Sefford, being desperate on the moves, collides with Dewey and Victor Becke, gives damage to all of them, as well as Timon. They're fighting like animals in the back for fourth. It's a 5-car fight, 6-car fight. Almost everyone in the back from fourth on out is fighting for position with the car ahead. As Adam goes wide. Oh, and there's contact. There's contact between him and Dewey. They go wide. Dewey slams doors with the 23. He goes wide. He gets slammed wide by Daniel. Lucas Alex takes advantage of the situation. Wow. Amazing. Hard racing. In front of him, we see Victor Becke defending 5th place from Kai Kogashiwa, who's been a front runner covered in bad luck for the entirety of the race. Dewey overtakes Lucas Alex, going to turn 2 and 3 onto the main straight. Is he going to be close enough to get the slipstream of the AMG, or has the AMG ran off? I don't think he has. In front, Kai Kogashiwa and Victor Beckett. Victor goes for the defensive line on the inside. Who's going to get it on the brakes? They're side by side. Kai's going to try and get the switchback. Oh, and he goes onto the bumper. Oh, and Lucas Alex slid just a bit, but for 5th place right now. Oh, they're side by side. Maybe a little bit of contact. We know what happened between the two of them last season at Hockenheim. A little bit of a vicious fight. Here we come. They're still side by side. What an amazing battle. Exciting battle. Oh, there's contact. Kai Kogashiwa is spun round by Victor Beckett. The tempers overflowing. For 3rd place, Thomas Seffert chasing Stefan Vesely, about half a second, less than a second behind on the softs. Seems like the wear is getting to him as well as the damage, because he is slowing down a little bit right now. Timon Stefanshaw going for the fastest lap with a 1:49.22. 1 minute 45 seconds left on the clock. Lucas Alex on the chase for Victor Beckett, who is still defending his 5th place. Going to turn 1. A little bit of curb usage, but it's still legal as he goes trying to get as much speed to defend from Lucas Alex. Lucas Alex looks to the outside, going to turn 2. He's going to try to switch back, get the exit speed for 3 and 4. He gets a late apex. He's going to get the speed. He is equal to Victor, even though he's behind in terms of speed. The slipstream from BMW to BMW down the long straight of turn 5 into turn 6 at a hairpin. Here they come. Is Lucas Alex going to try something on the brakes? Is he going to wild out? He's going to try and get a late apex. Victor Beckett locks up just a little bit. They're almost side by side. Lucas Alex still behind going into turn 7. Victor Beckett still defending for his life for that 5th place. Lucas Alex stays steady behind him. Victor scrubbing a lot of speed on the apex. That allowed Lucas Alex to get very much closer to his bumper. And in front, oh my god, Thomas in the wall. Oh, and Victor in the wall. 2 of them have crashed, but now they're still going. No safety car being deployed. Full course yellow. There's 20 seconds left on the clock. We will let this play out. Tail Cross in 2nd. Stefan Vesely in 3rd. Right now, with 1 more lap to go, 1 or 2 more laps to go as we go 3, 2, 1, 0 on the clock. This is the final lap for Timon Stefanshaw, who is still in the lead. Victor Beckett loses that 5th place. We're into 5th. Behind him, Dewey and Jeff fighting for P7. Let's watch a closer battle up front. Stefan Vesely and Tail Cross fighting for that 2nd place. The torque of the AMG brings him very close to the BMW, going to the parabolic of turn 5. He's looking to the left side. He's going to try to move around the outside, or maybe a switchback. Here they come into the hairpin for the final time on this first race of the double race event. The switchback is perfect. He gets that 2nd place from Tail Cross. He drives off on those medium tires on that AMG. The German fans on their feet as the Mercedes driver moves into 2nd place. A lot of lag, but Tail Cross is still on the move. Still around half a second, trying to make the last of those soft tires work. He's still very close. Oh, and they both go wide. But Tail Cross got more speed. They're going to be side by side into turn 11. He makes a move around the outside. Stefan Vesely going back into 3rd as he was before at the beginning of the lap. Tail Cross still defending that 2nd place. In front, Timon Stefanshaw is going to cross the line in 1st. Behind them, the fight for 2nd into the final corner. Here comes the BMW. The Mercedes makes a last Hail Mary attempt. They're side by side almost across the line. It was almost a drag race. Tail Cross finishes 2nd in race 1. Stefan Vesely in 3rd. Behind him, Lucas Alex. It's a 10-second penalty the final time for a full course yellow violation. We're gonna have to investigate that. I think that's a bug on Real Penalty's end. We look behind Kai Kogashiwa in P10 after starting in second place. Not a good first race for him, but he gets the start in P2 at the start of race 2. Timon Stefanschuk celebrating in circles, doing donuts to celebrate the win of the first of the 2 races. If the second race is as eventful as the first one was, folks, you are in for a treat. Timon?
Hi.
Oh, well, congratulations, first of all, on your pole position and your win in race 1. Because this is a reverse grid, I believe you'll be set back about all the way to the back of the grid for race 2. Does that concern you in any way?
I mean, if I can avoid all the chaos and crashes, I'll probably end up somewhere in podium position.
Right.
Well, so I'm not very concerned.
You're not very concerned?
Yeah.
Alright, well that's great to hear. Congratulations on a great performance, and good luck in race 2.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, folks, as we head into race 2, the starting grid will be reversed, meaning the starting order will be Thomas Seffert starting first for race 2, Kai Kogashiwa starting second, Adam Bretschneider starting in third, Jeff starting in fourth, Dewey in fifth, Victor Becke sixth, keeping his position, Daniel Burka in seventh, Lucas Alex in 8th, Stepan Vesely in 9th, Theo Cross in 10th, and Timon Stefanschuk in 11th. Hold on, as now we get a second commentator for race 2. Isbjørn Stopa joining me in the booth for the second round. Hello? Right. Seems we've got some issues on Isbjørn Stopa's end right now. With 35 seconds to go on the clock. We're going to be looking. East Block Racing occupying almost the entirety of the left side row. Kai Kogashiwa once again starting in second. Let's hope his race is better this time, as the lights are going to turn on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights. The lights are off, the green flag is shown, and the race is a go. Great start with Kai Kogashiwa once again. He seems to have got the handle of this Ferrari. Oh, and he crashes into turn 1. Oh, and there's a massive wreck. The safety car is going to be deployed.
What a disaster on the first corner.
First corner, we see 3 cars spinning. Safety car was deployed when the cars were still spinning. Seems as they've got themselves back together, so we won't be holding him under safety car for too long. But what a horrible start to this second race. Dewey moving up into second place. Victor back in fourth. The 2 Z4 teammates. Daniel Burka in third. Thomas Seffen first. Kill Cross, who's been an animal through the entirety of the event, in fifth right now. We're going to have to look at him later during the race. I'm sure he's got more to show. Isaac?
Yeah, sorry about everything going on right now. My computer seems to have struggled, but now it's a safety car, and Thomas seems to cut across P2 there.
Yeah.
Actually watching Thomas's POV the entire of the first round, and let's just say his driving was questionable. He doesn't seem to be leaving a lot of space during the racing.
No,
so
he is a very aggressive driver we've seen for race 1.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna pan out.
Yes, behind him, all the cars lining up. We will only be doing 1 lap under safety car because the crash has already sorted itself out. We won't be holding him for much longer. Lucas Alex in the pits right now, as you can see on the mini map. On the top right hand side.
Ah, yes, the pink dots. Now yellow.
Yes. This race direction is asking for bigger gaps. Dewey.
What is going
Daniel
on?
Burka
There?
both going wide. We are very aggressive on this under this safety car period.
Thomas seems to be leaving a somewhat decent gap.
He's impatient. You can hear it in the throttle inputs. You can hear it in the pedal inputs. He is impatient to get back going. Safety car will be called in at the end of this lap. Still going slow. Lucas Alex is still missing.
Oh my god, what are they doing though?
They stacking up. Thomas is on the bumper. You can see he was at the bottom of the screen for a moment. Thomas Seifert aggressively behind the safety car. He is impatient. He does not want to wait as they come to the final corner. You're going to be watching on. The green flag is going to be back in the air. Dewey right on the bumper of Thomas.
Ooh. Victor was trying something there. Didn't quite work out.
Yeah, the 2 BMW teammates aggressively trying to get past the Mercedes. Victor is going to try and get the late apex on this corner, going to 2, 3, and 4. Try to get the run. He's going to get the slipstream off the Mercedes. Thomas seems to have distanced himself a little bit from Dewey. You can look almost a little bit of a bump draft. It would seem so close together. Victor looks to the inside, into the hairpin. Here they go on the braking. Oh, and Daniel goes so wide. Victor gains that 3rd place. It is given to him for free almost. But behind him...
Seems like Daniel mistook the 50 board for the 150 board.
It would seem so. Victor making those soft tires do work wonders. Theo Cross and Timon Steffenschak, who were second and first in the first race, respectively, currently fighting for that 4th place on the chase for Victor Beckett.
Here seems to be an interesting battle. Timon, a veteran in this series.
Oh, Thomas!
Oh, God!
Thomas
This
has
is
lost it! What is going on? It's a 1-2 for the Motive team in the Z4s as of right now.
What happened with Thomas there? He was in P1 like a minute ago.
I think he lost the rear going into that corner.
Oh my God.
Instead of going straight like Sebastian Vettel did in 2019, he just spun it around almost. Oh!
Okay, that's all. Oh, yeah.
Squeezing Timon, who does not give a cent about Thomas. He makes the overtake work. Thomas losing so many positions, going down to 7th.
Oh.
Kai Kogashiwa, the 2nd place starter, who once again was involved in a lap 1 incident.
Oh,
Thirdly,
the two motivated drivers here now.
Thomas's car very, very unstable at the moment. Kai Kogashiwa making that Ferrari work wonders, trying to get back up front. Side by side, still going into the hairpin. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? Kai Kogashiwa sticks it to the inside, and he makes the overtake work. Up into 7th, Kai Kogashiwa goes. Meanwhile, in front, the closest battle we've got is Daniel Burka and Stephen Vesely in the 23 and 31 cars. Still very much fighting for that 5th place. Timon Steffenschak being the car to beat, it seems, for this event. As you see, those 2 AMGs at the back being all over the place. Kai Kogashiwa is looking for a move past those 2 Mercedes up in front, trying to keep continuous charge to the lead and potentially a top 3, top 5 finish.
Absolutely chaotic 2nd race going on here.
Yes, fastest lap being scored by Timon Steffenschak. 141.998. Oh my God, up in front we see Timon and Theo Cross fighting into turn 2 and 3 on the bumpers, almost side by side. Oh, it is close on the fenders. Very much in the slipstream of the McLaren down the turn 5 parabolica, which acts as a straight, the longest straight on the circuit. They're side by side. Theo trying to squeeze Timon to the inside. It's a battle on the brakes into the hairpin. Oh, and there's contact. There was contact.
Seems like a little bit of netcode there.
A little bit of netcode, probably a little bit too eager on the switchback by Theo Cross. He is wild and out. He really wants that podium, that race win. If Theo were to pass, it would be a potential BMW 1, 2, 3 on the podium. Behind them, Kai Kogashiwa, very much on the back bumper is Stephen Vesely. Gonna try and look to make a move on him. He looks to the inside, he switches to the inside. After trying to go outside, no move still being made. No, the overtake attempt is very much there, but he's biding his time, trying not to make the mistakes he did in the races prior. Timon Steffenschak still with a 41.066, new fastest lap.
Timon is flying in that McLaren right now.
He is chasing down Victor Beckett in 2nd place. The timings saying right now he is catching slowly, or the gap is remaining at status quo. It seems like the BMWs have the upper hand right now at the front with all this clean air. 2 seconds separate 2nd and 3rd, and it doesn't seem like it's cutting down as much as Timon locks it just a little bit in that corner. He makes up 2/10 for that, as Kai Kogashiwa, I think, is still making a move trying to make a move on Stefan Vesely. Probably getting a little bit impatient of seeing that that gray and green Mercedes still in front of him with nothing happening. Seems like at this rate, if this ends like that, it's going to be a fight between, I believe, either Dewey or Timon Stefanshock, or even Till Cross for the event win. Into that turn 12 hairpin they go. Thomas Seifert trying to make up the time from his mistakes earlier in the race. With a lot of damage on the front end, it's not going to be easy for him with that aerodynamic disadvantage. Oh, and behind them, 2 Mercedes. Probably, I don't know if they're teammates, but they almost came together.
As Victor overtook Dewey.
Victor Becke overtook Dewey. He's on the softs. A little bit of team orders maybe. Who knows? Dewey right now behind him. Under pressure from Timon Stefanshock. 2/10 behind him. The slipstream from the McLaren. Following down, he's taking the wide line, trying to elongate the distance that Timon has to travel in order to try and pass him.
Whoa.
They're side by side into the hairpin. Almost fender to fender. Dewey retains that second place. He makes Timon go wide. Timon tried to go around, but he didn't have as much pace as he thought he would. They're still fighting right now behind him. We see the fight for fourth. Right now, Timon to move around the outside from Dewey into the braking zone of turn 8. Dewey is going to try and make a double switchback into that series of corners. The dirty air from the McLaren, that big wing, going to try to make the handling from that BMW very, very difficult. Oh, very close to the wall goes Timon Stefanshock.
Yeah.
He gains that second
Very
place.
nice.
That was an amazing overtake we just saw.
Timon really using all the track limits here on the entry and the exits.
Yes, behind him now. As we see, Timon chasing now Victor Becke, who's going to lead a lap. I don't know if it's his first lap, but he's going to lead a lap in this Grand Prix. The race win very much in sight if he tries and up the pace and keep his nose clean. Dewey goes wide, but he's got to get the overspeed behind both the McLaren and the BMW. They're almost 3 wide into turn 2. Dewey overtakes the McLaren. He is playing. Oh my God, they collide.
No.
He goes wide.
You can't squeeze somebody there.
Side by side behind them is Till Cross and Stefan Vesely fighting for that 4th place. Kaiko Gishiwa, I believe, went down a position. Side by side behind them, it's a drag race to the braking zone. Around the outside goes the BMW. Seems like the favorable line if you want to overtake because of the exit speed out the hairpin. Timon very much on the chase from Victor Becke, trying to make those soft tires work with 6 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock. Can the BMW Motive team try and get a double podium in this race?
Those soft tires are going to be hurting very soon.
I think they already are, because you see Timon making a great job through that corner, almost on the bumper. Victor is going to have to play almost going to have to act like the wall of China, trying to block every single move that Timon is going to try and make. Because you know, once he passes Victor, it's probably over. He's shown great speed all throughout. The pole position, race 1 win, and now he's going to go for race 2 win. Victor to get a tighter line in turn 1. Oh my God, they're side by side. Into turn 2, Dewey goes a little bit wide.
Great one.
Oh, a little bit of contact. Timon pushes Victor a little bit on the wide side. Around the outside, Victor's going to get the overspeed. He's still in front with the exit speed out of the 3. He's still defending for his life. 5 minutes left on the clock. The McLaren is going to go into the slipstream. Look into the inside, almost on the grass. Now he switches to the outside on the hairpin. Here they come. Victor is going to try and block the outside run, but Timon makes the switchback work. They're side by side. Victor is going to try and keep his position around the outside. But he's too close to get the slipstream. Oh, there's contact. A bump for the McLaren. Victor moves. Oh my God. He moves down a position. As of right now, it's a double podium for Victor Beckett and Dewey for the Motive BMW team. Timon runs off into the distance. Right now, Theo Cross makes use of all the track limits and is trying to make time on. Oh, when he goes a bit wide, had to hold the brakes just a little bit longer. I think Timon has got this in the bag unless he makes a mistake. Victor, however, he is still less than a second behind him. The gap is very much changing. Sometimes in Victor's favor, sometimes in Timon's favor. What an amazing battle. Maybe it's a long range, far cry for the slipstream.
Timon goes more than a second quicker that lap.
Just over a second faster. Oh, and two of the Motive BMWs going wide. But they've got some clean air. Dewey's gonna have a little bit of clean air behind them. But Victor, he is still on the run to try and get that race win, but with the gap opening and those soft tires scrubbing, I don't know if it's still in the cars right now. Behind them is Theo Cross being chased down by Kai Kogashiwa and Stefan Vesely for 4th place. Kai Kogashiwa in the slipstream, gonna try and make that Ferrari engineering work. He looks to the outside into the turn 6 hairpin. He's gonna try and switch back. Oh, it's a little bit of contact. Stefan Vesely with the oversteer. Keeps it straight.
Seems like Stefan might have bumped him a little bit.
Yeah, but Kai Kogashiwa moving into 4th place down the inside of turn 7 into turn 8 they go. Theo Cross is not going to let himself get beaten that easily. He moves back to the inside, defends the 4th place. They're almost side by side. Another switchback maneuver from Kai perhaps. All that fighting puts Stefan Vesely right behind them. Thomas still, we saw him in the bag a little bit wide, but he keeps it on the track. Oh, and Toe goes wide. There's contact.
Oh no!
Kai Kogashiwa moves into 4th. You can see right now with 2 minutes 15 left on the clock, the drivers are getting desperate for track position in the championship. All those points matter.
As somebody who's driven a Mercedes a lot, that those rear tires really like to get hot and then stay hot.
Yeah.
And Stefan has been scrumming a lot.
Oh yeah. I like the Mercedes as well, but it is horrible on the rear tires on the long stint.
Oh yeah.
Them. Oh, Stefan Vesely looks to the inside. Oh, he moves him. He moves Theo Cross. He's going to give the position back, he seems. He'll back in 5th place. He's still going to try and chase Kai Kogashiwa for that 4th place. We know he's been wilding out in that BMW, as I've said time and time again. Stefan Vesely giving some space. Oh, he gives.
Oh, here goes again.
Oh, he goes again. He locked the brakes up. He loses. Another overtake attempt failed for that 5th place. But he is still right behind that BMW. The city
helps him a
challenge.
little bit. Oh, no
contact. Oh, it almost suspended. They're getting physical. It's like watching a NASCAR race. The fenders, the doors, banging and beating until the very end. 50. Rubbin's racing, like they say in that sport. Behind them,
yeah.
Stefan Vesely. Oh, it seems like Theo's weakness is that corner.
There goes Thomas.
There goes Thomas, yes. His chase is probably over with 30 seconds to go. They got to go one more lap. Stefan Vesely's got one more lap and try and get that 5th place, but Theo was put on a masterclass of a defense. Still in 5th position. I think it's a little too late to chase that 4th place in the Kai Kogashiwa in this Ferrari, unless he makes a mistake. But Theo Cross right now, his primary objective is defending that top 5 position. As we see, Stefan Vesely looks to the outside, the dummy to go to the inside, the switchback, the torque of that AMG is going to try and get him, push himself forward down that straight. Is he close enough to get that slipstream off the BMW?
Yes.
He
But I don't
is.
think it's coming close enough.
I don't think it's close
Oh.
enough, but he's gonna have to throw a Hail Mary down the hairpin. On the braking zone, he does throw a Hail Mary down the hairpin. The brakes getting,
Oh, no.
contact. Tail putting the block on that inside line, not giving Steppen any place, any room for error. Lever is on the final lap. Motive PHRL BMW is en route for a double podium. Timon Stefanchuk moving from last to first in the matter of 20 minutes. Dewey is slowing. Dewey is slowing down. He
Fuel
loses.
problems?
His tank is
What is
empty.
going on?
There's no roll from the engine.
No!
His tank is empty. Timon crossed the line in first. Victor Becke on the podium in GT3. Kai Kogashiwa finishes in third position in his Ferrari. Tail Cross in fourth. Stepan Vesely in fifth right now. Lucas Alex goes and moves into sixth place. Finishes the race in sixth place. And we look at the heartbreak of Dewey. Ran out of fuel on the final lap.
What a shame for Dewey.
What a shame for Dewey. But Timon with the pole position, the race 1 win and the race 2 win. The car to beat and has remained undefeated.
It was just some incredibly clean driving from Timon this race.
Absolutely. You can see he puts a lot of effort in his racecraft, and it shows with that result.
Oh yeah. It was very cool to see him race against Theo Cross, because Timon is a veteran in this series, so Theo is one of the newer guys here.
Yes. I'm gonna ask some people for interviews. Alright, we've got our first interview. Tail Cross. Obviously, not a podium, but we've been watching you this entire race. What a wild 2 races it's been for you.
Yeah. I haven't really got much else to say. It was just, yeah. I mean, Stepan, a really good driver. Some really nice battles there. Some good overtakes. Some good switchbacks. He's not easy to beat, and I commend him. I genuinely commend him.
Right. Do you think if some more events went your way, you could have gotten that top 3? Maybe because we saw you fight for that win in race 1. So do you think that was on the cards?
I don't think so. No, I haven't got the pace that the people higher up have. I mean, God, Timon was just flying. He might as well have just flown across the track. He was so quick. I don't have the pace unless incidents happen and like the safety car and everything goes my way. I don't really have a shot of getting into that top 3, which is what happened with the first race. There was a big incident and I managed to just defend third place from taking second. But I mean, just off raw pace, no, I don't think I could get up there.
All right. Well, congratulations on the great drive, and hope to see you on one of those 3 steps next week.
Thank you very much.
Now we're gonna bring Victor Becke for an interview. Our second place finisher tonight, Victor Becke. Victor, congratulations on a podium finish.
Thank you.
How do you feel after today?
That was a great second race. I thought I had the pace, but then the tires, I went soft in the second one. They just started falling off at the end. And yeah, Timon is Timon. He's just a bit too fast.
Do you think what do you think of your entire team's performance today? Do you think if Dewey didn't have his fuel issues today, that could have helped probably maybe a race win had he could have been more aggressive,
Yeah.
maybe
So
get a podium?
yeah. We were probably on course for P2, P4 in the last race. And yeah, Dewey just got really, really unfortunate that he got that. And I think he was also like taken out a few times in the first race, so that also screwed us a bit. But overall, we had a pretty decent weekend. At least I had. So yeah, we're just chasing the East Block guys now for P3. That's gonna be the ultimate goal this season.
Yes, and we're looking forward to see that today, this season.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Congratulations, and hope to see
Thank
more
you.
more of you guys this season. You've been great.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya. Right, folks. That was it for today. For today's event in GT3, GT3's round 4 at Hockenheim. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and sticking around to the end. And we'll
Was an
hope
incredible race.
it was an incredible race. Yeah, a
I
lot
was
of.
hoping to race next week,
Are you gonna race
as
next
I
week?
couldn't be here. I'll try. I just had computer issues this week and wasn't able to join the server.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it sucks when it happens, but we hope to see you on track next week. You always put on a good show when you're on.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Yeah, today great race today. A lot of epic moments. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you all probably